producers. This is your publisher, Kristen Brinley, and I am here with the wonderful Greg Wells. Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
He is our November cover story. If you haven't checked it out yet, you're definitely going to want to. And page 34, 35 in the January issue. Make sure you check that out. And if you have it on Digipub as well, make sure you download Digipub and check it out if you don't have a paper copy anymore. So, Greg, thanks again. And, you are a smart guy. You could do just about anything. Why real estate?
I got into real estate about 25 years ago and kind of came to a crossroads in my life where I'd had some jobs that I had made a lot of money but didn't necessarily like so much, and had some jobs that I really liked but I didn't really make a lot of money at. And kind of had this, epiphany that, I need to have, something that accomplishes both. And I always had a personal love for real estate. I was the guy that was always picking up the real estate magazines in the store and then driving around and looking for the homes myself to look at them on my days off. And, it was an easy fit for me. I knew you could make money in real estate. I knew it was a customer service business, and I always have enjoyed helping people. And so that's how it was for me. I dove in, and here I am 25 years later, still loving it, and happy I made the move.
I think it was a great move. You've helped over 1,000 families. You're an expert in what you do. What has been the biggest challenge for you as a real estate agent?
The biggest challenge for me, I've been building a team here for the last 10 years, and I'd say that my current biggest challenge is hiring and finding the right people. When you build a business, it's all about the people that you can bring on and help you run the business. And I've got some great people on my team right now, but I've had some growing pains over the years. I've had to fire a couple of people. No fun. That's the biggest challenge in running, I think, any business is finding the right people that can help you grow the business, understand your vision, and are there to support you as well.
Absolutely. And you all did like $45 million last year too. So what size is your team right now? Can you tell us a little bit about
Yeah, so my team right now is 10 strong, and that's a mix of licensed agents and administrative staff. And yes, we did $45 million last year. We're on track to do about $65 million this year. We have just acquired our own space, which is really exciting. We've got about a 3,000 square foot office space in Ashburn, Virginia, with our own training room, our own conference room. We actually have a coffee bar, wine bar in there. It's a fun space, and we are definitely in growth mode. Looking for agents, and then ultimately we'll be looking for a little bit more administrative staff to support the agents.
What does the next 1 to 5 years look like for you? What's the plan?
Yeah, 1 to 5 years, it's all about growth for me and building the business. I feel like I've got a great group in place right now, but acquiring the space is part of my vision to double and probably triple the team in the next 5 years. So we've got projections not only for for the number of families that we want to help and the number of sales that we want to attain, but also the number of staff that we want to hire, and so that's where we're at, full on recruiting mode.
So what has been the most rewarding part of your business so far?
That's an easy one. The rewarding thing about real estate is helping people. There is absolutely nothing better than handing over the keys to a first-time buyer at a settlement, or helping a seller that maybe is in a bind that needs to sell a property. And because we're in such a transient area here in the DC metro area, there's always people coming and going for whatever reason. Relocation, retirement. We've got a lot of people coming in and going here, and everybody's got a different reason that they need to buy or sell, and it's our job to help them, find a great home or move them out of the home that they've enjoyed for the last so it's helping the people.
Can you tell us how real estate fits into your goals and your dreams for you and your family?
Real estate is an awesome business. It's a business that is unlimited. When you develop the skills, you put in the time and effort, sky's the limit in the real estate business. So it's a hard business. It's certainly not as easy as it looks, and most people find out that. I think statistics currently are 80% of people that get their real estate licenses are out of the business within 2 years because they realize how hard it is. It really is a hard business, but it's a great business. It's a long-term business, and once you establish your skills, get your feet on the ground, and put in the time and effort that it takes to be successful, you can build a great business. You can have a great life. It can afford you flexibility in schedule, and you can do it forever. And when you're in business for yourself, nobody can fire you either.
Can you define success for us?
I think success is different for everybody. So it's for me, success is building a business. It's helping others succeed. There's nothing I like more than teaching agents how to be successful in this business. That's one of the most rewarding things that I have right now is as I'm building a team and helping out agents, teaching them what I've learned over my years of not only real estate experience, but experience in other forms of sales and other forms of management is really a part of what I consider success. And then the monetary part of it is pretty easy. If you're running a business, you've got to make a profit. You've got to be prudent with your decisions. And ultimately, when you look back at a 1 year, a 3 year, a 5 year recap of how you've done, it should be pretty obvious if you were successful as a business person.
True that. Can you tell us about your family?
I light up when you ask me questions about my family. I have an amazing wife of basically 20 years, married for 18, together for 20. She's one of the most amazing people that I've ever met, and she has the skills that basically make everybody around her gravitate toward her, and that's because she puts everybody first and puts herself second. There's very few people that I've ever run into that have that ability or that desire and just care that much about other people. And it's just an amazing quality that she has, and I'm very, very lucky to have her in my life and a part of my team. And then there's my daughter who I couldn't be more proud of. Believe it or not, she's going to turn 30 this year. Yeah, yep.
Doesn't seem possible, right?
Makes you feel old, but she's just an amazing young woman. Doing very, very well in her industry, which is advertising in the beauty industry. Unfortunately, she moved to Santa Monica a couple of years ago, which when your only child moves to the West Coast, it is very difficult. That's been a big adjustment for my wife and I, going from seeing her and her now husband maybe every other weekend to now seeing them 3 or 4 times a year.
Wow. It's a rough place to have to visit though, right?
It is a rough place to visit, but still I'm working, so it doesn't, I don't get there as often as I would like, but it is a little slice of paradise for those who've never been to Santa Monica. You should go.
Tell us a little bit about what you're currently learning.
I'm someone that believes in learning every day. I preach this to anybody on my team, anybody that I'm mentoring or coaching that maybe isn't even on my team, is that, you've got to be learning every day. So, I listen to, podcasts, daily, daily updates from some of the people that I respect out there in the business. I'll, tune into any form of learning that I can, whether it's a webinar, a podcast, reading a good book, attending a seminar, networking with others that I respect, you can never stop learning.
I love that. I love that philosophy. Is there any books that you could recommend that you've currently either read recently or are your favorites, or your favorite podcasts to listen to, so these guys could check in?
Well, sure. I'm a Keller Williams agent. Moved over from Remax a couple of years ago. Wish I would have done it a long time ago. So I have to give a shout out to Gary Keller. And the MREA is really, a floor plan, if you will, to give a real estate quote to anybody in the real estate business that's either brand new or, like myself, trying to take it to the 7th level, 8th level. And so the MREA is an amazing book for real estate professionals. There's so many books out there that are helpful, whether they're sales books, management books, leadership books, podcasts. I'm a big Brian Buffini fan for the realtors out there. Brian and I have gone back a long way. The fundamentals that the Buffini system preaches are something that everybody has to have when they start off this business. Brian, for those who know, Brian is a very witty character. He's very entertaining to listen to, but his message also speaks loud and clear. So, love his podcast. Once again, you just can't have enough, So I say dive in and be all in.
That's great. Do you have any interests outside of the business, things that you love to do, hobbies, things like that?
I do. I am a total golf nut. I love to play golf. I love to watch it on TV. I will listen to golf radio in my car. I just almost can't get enough. Occasionally I go overload, but I'm a sports fan in general. I went to college thinking that I was going to be a sports broadcaster. And so, I'm an ESPN guy. I can have the TV rolling on sports all day long, which of course is a battle in the house. But yeah, I can talk sports with anybody. I can talk music with anybody too. In a previous life, I was a professional sound engineer and spent 8 years in that business, had my own company, traveled the United States with some different musical groups. My mom was a music teacher, so I grew up in a musical family and just still have music running through my bones. I love to see live music. That's something that's really important to me. The energy that I get from seeing musicians that are out there doing it and creative and going at it is something that I still love and try to get as much of that as I possibly can.
That sounds like a cool previous life.
That was the one where I loved, but I didn't make a lot of money. It's a hard business. It's very hard. Yeah.
What do you think sets you apart or makes you different?
In the real estate world, I think the care that I have for clients that is now being carried on by my team. And the service that we provide is, just a different level. We try to give a Ritz-Carlton or a Nordstrom level service to our clients. And I think we do a pretty darn good job of that. If you check our reviews online, you'll see what our clients think of us. And, with the team approach and the specialists that I have in a number of different positions, when that all works well together, it delivers a level of service that really is hard to match. Secondly, I would say we are known for our marketing. The brochures that I produce for homes are typically 12 pages long. They're full color. They have the best photography in them. They have 100% accurate floor plans. Of course, they have bullet points that focus on the homes themselves. And typically, there's always 1 to 4 pages dedicated to community. And I'm a lifestyle seller, and that's something that I do that's probably different than the majority of the agents that are out there. I feel like the communities that I sell in all have a story to tell. And so in my marketing, we try to tell the story of the community. So as we have such a transient area here, and there's so many people coming into the area, I still find many of my listings being shown by agents from Arlington or Fairfax. And I basically sell in Loudoun County, where agents don't know the properties, they don't know the communities, they don't know about the amenities that each of these communities have, they don't know the story of the community. So it's real important for me to tell the story of the community as I'm selling an individual property within that community.
That's a great approach.
Yeah, and then lastly, it's my experience. I've been doing this for 25 years. I've been in the resale world. I've sold new construction for 10 years as a part of that 25 years. I've seen it from, angles that most haven't seen it at. And, I have my broker's license, back to education, and, I'm committed to the business. I've learned a tremendous amount and seen so much. So I think those are kind of the three biggest bullet points that make us different.
What do you believe has been the biggest reason for your success, and maybe the largest failure and what you learned from it?
Success for me, it's all about hard work and putting in the hours. I outwork my competition. I know it. I know that I've outworked them. And I think you've got to put in the hours. You can't be in this business. It is kind of a 24/7 business. You can shut it off at some point, but I think it's very difficult to turn off the lights at 5 o'clock and tell your public that you'll be back online at 9 o'clock the next morning. You've got to be available when others are available. In fact, I did a listing appointment last night and didn't get home till 9:30. So I'm still doing it, and I love it. I had a great appointment with some great folks last night. We'll be listing a beautiful home here in a couple of weeks for them. But you've got to put in the hours, I think that's one of the biggest problems that people have is they get into the real estate business and they don't understand that not only do you have to work it like a business, 9 to 5 at least, but it's way more than that. It's for me, it's probably 7 o'clock in the morning to 9 or 10 at night that I'm looking at email and maybe making phone calls, maybe returning emails and text messages and things like that. And it's 7 days a week too. Time is of the essence. We say that in real estate, and it's true. And people need service. This is a service industry, so I think outworking the competition has always been something that I've been able to do. I'm a hard charger and somebody that takes pride in working hard and providing great service. Challenges. As I said earlier, it's all about finding the right people when you're growing a business, and in my case, growing a team and a business. I've made some good hires, and I've made some bad hires, and so
haven't we all, right?
So I'm constantly, and that's one of the things that I'm trying to learn is how to be a better, hiring manager. How to develop processes that weed out the people that aren't going to be long-term fits, for the company.
Is there anything you've done that you feel that real producers absolutely should do?
I think it's all the things that we've covered. It's the work ethic. It's the commitment to service. It's it's the time that's invested. You got to learn the ropes in this business. Every transaction is different. And then for people that are newer in the business that don't have the experience, lean on people that do. If there's newer agents out there or people thinking about getting into the business, lean on people. Find a mentor. Lean on your broker. Make sure that your broker is somebody that's available to answer your phone calls when you need help. Get the support. Because there's a lot to learn in this business. I'm learning every day, and I've been doing this a long time, and I've got a lot of transactions underneath my belt.
Yeah, I'd say 1,000 is a lot. What is the greatest lesson you've ever learned?
The greatest lesson that I've ever learned, I think it's, following your morals and, sticking to your values. You see a lot of weird things in this business, to be honest. You see buyers and sellers that, don't share the truth with you for whatever reason. You find people that try to use you for your knowledge and your expertise, and then they go list their home with their buddy who just got his license. Not to point any negative fingers at any negative agents, but you do see occasionally agents that are not following the code of ethics, doing business the way business should be done. In an honest and trustworthy and live by the golden rule sort of way. So, for me, at the end of the night, you gotta put your head down on the pillow and feel good about it, and that's what I hang my hat on.
What do you want to be remembered for, Grant?
I think just for taking great care of people, and when you take great care of people in this business, the word spreads. Whether it's online reviews or people that you've done great work for going out there and telling their friends about you and sending you referrals. One of the most gratifying things in this business is one of your past clients sends you a referral, and tells one of their friends or family or coworkers, we had an amazing experience with this guy. It was like something that we've never seen before. And when you get that sort of pre-endorsement, it's so rewarding. It really is.
Absolutely, that makes sense to me. Well, we really appreciate. Do you have any funny stories you want to tell, or like a hilarious story, something that happened in a real estate house,
Oh gosh, there's so many, and that's something that is really fun about this business as well. You just see it all in this business. I'll tell you a really funny story, and it happens to be one of the first stories, and I'm going to poke fun at myself, okay? I'm not too big to do that. I'm not afraid to share a funny story that I was involved in. So the first open house that I ever did, brand new agent, I'm an agent in Fairfax, I'm scrapping and clawing for anything that I can do. I ask an agent in the office if I can hold an open house for her. She says, sure. I've got this new little townhome down in Loudoun. And 25 years ago, Loudoun wasn't really what Loudoun is right now. It was not so developed, not so well thought after, but hey, I was all in. So I had a plan. I was doing all my, I was ready. So I get to the open house, and it's a bit of a dud. There's not many people coming through. I think maybe only 2 or 3 came through the whole day, and so I've got some time on my hands. The people that it was a nice home, really well kept and real cozy, and the people were nice enough to leave the football game on for me.
Nice. So
hey, I'm a sports guy. I'm going to sit here and wait for the doorbell to ring, and when it rings, I'll mute the sound on the TV and I'll go do my thing, right? So I'm sitting there, and I think the folks had also been nice enough to make coffee. So there was a coffee pot there. I was having a cup of coffee, and they said, hey, help yourself to anything in the fridge or anything that you like. So as I'm having coffee, all of a sudden I see this really nice looking bowl of cookies on the counter, and I said, I'll have a couple of cookies while I'm having my coffee. One cookie led to another. I'm not exactly sure how many I made, I ate, excuse me, but, so it was all good. I had a good wrapped up, went home, everything was good. Next day, the agent in the office, engages me for a little follow-up, how'd it go? And then she says to me, I got a phone call from the sellers. they said everything was fine, you know. But they said there was a bowl of dog cookies on the counter.
Oh!
that it looked like about half of them were gone. Yeah, and I said, oh, I thought they were ginger snaps. And explained,
Thank you, Greg.
explained the whole thing. Never got sick. They tasted good, and I would have never known the difference. But there's my funniest story in real estate. There's been plenty more. You know, I could write a book and go on all day long.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed that. I've enjoyed, talking to you. Thank you so much, Greg. It was a pleasure.
The pleasure's all been mine. I will happily do it at any time.
Thank you, Greg. Have a good day, everyone.
See ya.
You've heard it from Nova Real Producers.